Good morning and welcome to day 28. Can you believe we are 28 days in July CampNaNoWrimo? 28 days. That's something we should be proud of. Give yourself an applause. You deserve it, and I deserve it. So that means we only have 3 days left till we finish with July Camp NaNoWrimo. So my plans are we continue with our writing momentum today, tomorrow, and Friday morning. Friday evening, I'm going to schedule us to have a live celebration on YouTube and Twitch. So be sure to join us. I will put up a link so you can check it out this week and be here to celebrate you. I will have some games for us to play. I'm in the process of getting that organized now. But it's your celebration because we deserve it. So, this weekend, what did I do? Nothing. I didn't do a thing. I did go to my writing boot camp, which is to be expected always. And that was fun. Always fun. And I wanted to save my writing for this week because if I would have finished everything, what would I have to do today? So, yeah, I saved my writing. Plus, I needed to get inspired. I was going to read, but I didn't read until last night. And I woke up this morning, probably around 1 o'clock, reading again. And I needed to read because I was at a standstill with my story. I'm in the bottom part of Act 3 now, where I'm getting ready to close everything out. And I thought I was going to interview three more possible suspects in my story. And then I had an epiphany. This morning, I had an epiphany, and it felt really, really good. And it told me, you don't need to add no more characters to the story. We have enough characters. You already talked with several, and I discovered the murderer. Oh my gosh! I had no idea who my murderer was. I thought I did. I had it in my mind. This person was going to be the murderer. It didn't turn out that way. It was another twist in the story. So I thought that person was just a red herring, but no, 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 no. And I don't want to share too much because I'll be giving away the story. And this is the part I'm going to zip up my mouth and hold on to. But yeah, I'm at the bottom of third act and I need to finish. I think I'm still at like maybe 52 or 53,000 words. My goal, my personal goal, is to get anywhere from 60 to 75,000 words. So I need at least 25,000 words to be satisfied. And I think with the way my story going and the ending, because it's already there, I have enough words to do that 25,000 words to get my total word count. Because when the rewrite and the editing is going to take away and put some in and take away. So at least I have enough cush to work with during the editing process. So yeah, I'm excited about that. The books I read, well, it was only one book. I can't remember the name of it, but I want to tell you about that book. Let me see if I can bring it up right quick. Even though the story, I didn't get any ideas from the story at all. I was thinking if I read a book within my genre, pick a favorite author. I didn't pick a favorite author because these are new authors that I don't know anything about. Okay. Mystery Follows Her is what I read. And it was recommended by one of the ladies on my Instagram. Plus, she has a YouTube and she hosted Evergreen Writing Oasis. Tamara Woods, she's in there. She has a story in there. I hadn't got to her story. What I did is it's a collaborations of authors who write cozy mystery. Hold on, who writes cozy mysteries. Ugh, I'm on my Kindle and I'm looking on my phone and I'm trying to show you the name. And for some reason, my Kindle on my phone don't want to act right unless I go all the way to the beginning. So what I did, I wanted to read the stories that was written in first person because that's how I'm writing my story is in first person. Okay, well, let me do the covers. Hold on. And so I went through it, and I don't know if you can see this. It's called Mystery. Let's see. I was trying to. Somebody say, put your hands over it for the light. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it in focus. It might show. Hold on. Anyway, it's too little on here. It's called Mystery Follows Her. It's a multi-author cozy mystery collection. So I went through it and I looked for stories that was written in first person because I'm writing my story in first person. And I wanted to get inspiration on how they actually write their or start their story off in first person. So I was able to get to two of the stories early, one last night and one early this morning. I didn't get any ideas from the story, but I think it was the fact that I was reading cozy mystery and it was a sleuth, an amateur sleuth involved, and it gave me an idea. It was just putting myself in that familiar zone that I like, which is cozy mystery genre, and you're dealing with an amateur sleuth. So I was inspired, and that's when I got my epiphany. I realized I don't have to add these extra characters. I already have enough characters in there, and one of them is the murderer. And it's not who I initially thought it was or wanted to be, in the way I had it played out in my mind that it was going to be. It didn't work that way. And then I had another scene. It was like I could see everything that was happening. Another scene popped up with this other character. I'm going to say Mr. Pete. And then another scene popped up in the past with Mr. Pete and Mr. Chester. So I kept thinking about these scenes, and in my head, everything came together. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get up and write it down. So I tried to write it down, and I couldn't. For some reason, I could not write it down. It was changing, so I stopped. I said, I'm saving it for my writing sprints today. However it flows, that's how I'm going to write it because it's still in my head. And the reason why I wanted to write it down so I wouldn't forget, but I hadn't forgot. It's still there. So I do recommend to always keep a notepad or a notebook. It may work for you all the time to jot those epiphany moments down before you forget. An old saying my grandma used to say, whenever you have a dream, tell it before breakfast. Tell it to someone before breakfast. If it's a bad dream, because you don't want it to come true. Well, this was a good dream. It wasn't even a dream. It was just ba-bam in my head to write the story. So anyway, I'm really happy with that. I know which direction my story gonna go in. At least I feel it as I'm writing now. So enough with the jabbering. I feel good. I hope you feel good. I hope you got your coffee, your tea, or whatever you drink in the mornings. And join me for our first 10-minute writing warm up. Okay, that completes our 10-minute warm up. And let's see how many words I was able to get. 351 words so far this morning. So that's pretty good. That's a good start. Like I said, I didn't type or write any this weekend. So I'm slowly putting myself back into that groove. And right now, I'm back with Bay, who's retracking some of her steps. She's at that moment where she's wondering if everything she's doing is right, and she's doubting her ability to figure out who actually killed Getty. So she's backtracking a little bit. Not that I'm writing where you find some writers are redundant in what they say and what they do. That's not happening right now. And I always say I need to be careful when I write, because that's something I don't like, is when I read something that's redundant, that's been said over and over in a particular book. So I'm adding more things into this so it won't seem that way. But she has gone back to Getty's parlor because after she was reading some of the logs that she took out, she found some information that would help her progress with her discovery of who actually killed her. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm on chapter. I never told you. I'm on chapter 25. Scene 25, chapter 25. So it looks like my story is moving on pretty good. I'm trying to think how many more chapters. I don't know. We'll just see as I go. But I might have at least 30 to 32 chapters. That's the look of things in order to complete this first book. So let's start off our 20-minute writing sprint. Ready? Let's write. Okay, that completes our first 20-minute writing sprint. And I need another 20-minute writing sprint because I was very productive with this one. The scene was just flowing, and in my head I already knew what was going to happen, but for a moment I wanted to change that direction. So one thing as a writer, well, this is the first draft, so your story may be all over the place, but don't allow your characters to take over. Let them flow. Don't try to interject what you want into the storyline because really it's your character's story. And I had to remember that this is not my story. This is not my story. It's my characters. They live in this, and I'm just writing it as they live it. So I'm glad I paid attention to that and allowed Bay to continue with her story as it happened without me trying to change it. I don't know if that sounds confusing, but in my mind, I wanted it to happen a certain way, this particular scene. And my character, I felt like we was having a tug of war. And when she won, I let go immediately so she can progress on with her story and allow the scene to happen the way it's supposed to. And thinking about it now, I'm glad because it adds more conflict. It adds a little tension and suspense, a lot of suspense. So that's pretty good. So let me see how many words I got all together. So I was able to write 1,100 words total from the first 10-minute warm up. So that's pretty good. I will reach that 2,000 writing goal, but once the sprint is over and I go on to my day, I will be writing more on my story um, because it's happening. I mean, the ending is there. I don't think I have ever written a story where I had a complete ending. I had the whole story structure there. You know, the first act, second act, and the third act. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just about there. So knowing that I'm almost there, just about there, just a few days away, is giving me enough encouragement and motivation, excuse me, to keep pushing forward. So remember that. Keep pushing forward. Don't stop. Just keep pushing forward. So let's do a 15 minutes writing sprint. And let's write. Okay, that complete our 15-minute writing sprint. So a new character came in. He's not actually a new character because I already knew eventually he had to come into my story, and that's Detective, what's his name, Shepard Malone. Oh my gosh, he is beautiful. So there's two good-looking guys. There's Shepard Malone, and there's Deputy Styles. What is Styles' first name? I don't remember. But anyway, he's from the big city, and they recognize him, his voice, because she's in a place she has no business. And Styles and Shepard Malone is back at the scene of the crime, and she's like wondering, what is he doing here? He's not supposed to be here. So anyway, she has some animosity against him because of something that happened back in Houston. That's sort of tied into this storyline, and it just happened. Because for a moment, I forgot about Detective, what's his name? Shepard Malone. I like that name. So anyway, she gets this idea that she's determined. She gets that willpower, that determination that she's not going to let him have the glory in solving this case and taking the honor from her dad before he retired. And she had did a reading of her cards and she couldn't figure out what it was, but it was dealing with Styles and Shepard Malone. So she's determined now to do what she needs to do so her dad and them can get the glory and figure out who killed Getty. So that's where I'm at now. And this is perfect because Styles and Shepard, they have this unspoken competition or this male thing that's going on between each other. They don't really care about each other because they're in the same position of wanting something. They both want something. They want the same thing. Put it that way. So I'm at that part. Let me see how many words I got together. So far, I have 1670 words. And I think I'm going to wrap up this scene and move into the next chapter. So, yeah, I'm going to do some more writing today because this story is really, really on the move. The writing momentum is there. Um, I'm going to finish this off. So, we're going to do a 7-minute wrap up. And let's write. Okay, that completes the 7 minute wrap up. Let's see where I'm at. I'm close. I'm at 1932, so that's not bad. This scene was the beginning of well, I guess a chemistry that's going on, a love triangle that's going to carry on through the whole planned three series of this story. And I love this scene because I love the feeling of attraction, that chemistry, that forbidding feeling that you fight yourself for, and you don't know if it's gonna win or not, but you do everything you can to stop it from happening. And that's where Bay is going, because she just swore off love. She do not want to experience love at all. And so I wrote that scene. I finished, well, just about finished. I have probably a couple of more sentences I need to add to this chapter, which is chapter 26. So hopefully today my plan is to move on to 27 and 28. And probably the next 3 to 5 chapters, it will complete the story. So I'm loving the way the story is turning out. I love the unexpected that happened. I love my characters. I'm a little disappointed with Aunt Ivy. I always loved her before I even wrote her. I thought she was going to be this perfect aunt. She's not perfect at all. You know, everybody wants this aunt that they can go to, that they just love. She's not that. So anyway, that concludes today writing sprint right with me. So join me tomorrow. I will be back at the same time. We have a few more days to go, and don't forget our celebration on Friday. I will pre-schedule that so you can set your alarm. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until then, you have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Keep a smile on your face. Find something that makes you happy and embrace your passion. Until then, happy writing.